Hey, how's it going, everyone? This is Victor with SkyTech One, where we talk about tech, drone videography, and travel. Today we'll be reviewing the Hubanfly dashcam, a 4K front and rear dashcam that you can find on Amazon for around $80. Now, to be transparent with you, the seller sent me a free copy for review, and they even covered the installation charges. But don't worry, I'll be objective as possible, and I'll have to roast them if I have to. Today we're going to talk about the feature set, the price, the image quality, the low light performance, incident detection, the user interface and user experience, my overall final thoughts and my recommendations, and let's get started. So, the feature set, it's a dual dash camera, meaning it has a front and rear camera. The front camera records in 4K Ultra HD, while the rear camera captures footage in 1080p HD resolution. The front camera has a wide-angle lens with a 170-degree field of view, while the rear camera, on the other hand, has a 140 wide-angle lens. It's equipped with Starlight color night vision, which allows for clearer shots in low-light environments. In a second, we'll put it to the test. And it comes with 64 gigabytes of micro SD card and a card reader. Let's move on to the pricing. So considering the features it has, the price of $80 is quite reasonable. Similar dash cams with rear cameras usually cost around $120, $110. This one's available for $80 on Amazon with coupons. So I think the value is there. But I will give you my recommendation later on, so stick around. Let's talk about the image and video quality of this dash cam. So the front camera is pretty good. It's sharp, the colors are good, it has nice contrast. So you can clearly read license plate of cars that are closer to you, but as they get farther away, it becomes more difficult to make out the details. So just kind of like a word of caution with a lot of these, in fact, if not all of these dash cams around this price, you're not going to be able to get license plates from a little bit farther away because it's just the nature of the sensor. A lot of these companies use very similar sensors and processors. So I would say this, this is on par. Getting back to the video, we have to talk about the rear camera. To be honest, it's not great. Reading license plate is pretty much a challenge, but don't take my word for it. Have a look for yourself. Let's discuss the low light performance of the Hubanfly dash cam. So in terms of low light performance in the front camera, I would say it's average. The front camera does a fairly good job until past blue hour, like actual night. Once it gets dark, the front camera quality becomes similar to what the rear camera quality is like during the day. So not great. Of course, license plate become harder to see, especially if your headlights are overexposing reflective surfaces such as the license plate. So you're just gonna get like a white blob. So you won't be able to see license plates very well in any times where you have the headlights on. But the good thing is that you could make out the green traffic signs, the road signs, so you're able to kind of know where you are. As for the back camera, well, it does a fairly decent job in low light. Overall, the dash cam does a fairly okay job in low light. Now, let's talk about incident detection. Now, this was a feature that I was interested in. This feature is when the camera starts recording, whenever a collision is detected, or when the camera senses there's something noteworthy or interesting, such as if someone was trying to break into your car when it's parked. So this was kind of like a Tesla feature. But overall, I noticed there was a lot of false positives during my testing. In the emergency folder, it didn't really capture anything out of the ordinary. There was a lot of regular stuff in that folder. And there were about 15 or so files, nothing really noteworthy. So I wouldn't rely too much on this, especially if you're trying to, see if there's any collision in a parking lot, someone, breaking into your car. I would not rely solely on this. So if something really were to happen in a collision, in an accident, you would probably be better off just saving the entire contents of your memory card to your computer. Time to discuss the user interface and user experience. User interface is fairly fine. It looks fine. The button looks fine. The whole thing seems to be well designed. However, the experience isn't as logical, isn't as great. The biggest thing is the button labels on the back of the device don't really correspond to what happens when you press it. Besides like a mislabeling of the buttons, there's also kind of like a strange logic of what's going on. And let me show you what I mean. All right, now let's go into the menu. So this menu looking button is the menu, and you can go up and down across this menu. I'm not going to go through all of it, but I'll go through a few notable ones. There's resolution, loop record, license plate, record audio, G sensor, which is the collision sensor. And let's go back. Parking guard, which is the incident detection. Mirror image, you can flip the image. So yeah, nothing out of the ordinary. And let's go back. I'm assuming hit menu again. Okay, so this menu looking button is menu, and this M button is not menu. It is what does it do? Okay, it's the start and stop. No, all right, it's a photography button, and then OK is record. Okay, and up and down. I know up is to scroll through the different cameras. We don't have the rear camera connected here, so I'm not going to show you that. I don't know what down does. So it's kind of weird, like how the buttons are labeled and how the things they do, as you can see. But I wouldn't knock too many points off that, because this is not something that you're using all the time. This is something where you leave the camera on the windshield, and 95% of the time you're not really going to touch the buttons. So yeah, despite it's kind of weird and strange, I would knock too many points off of that. Now let's address a few issues I encountered during my testing. Firstly, the unit I received kept on restarting every 30 minutes or so. However, the seller promptly provided a replacement, which worked fine after that and no longer has this issue. Second, the memory card that came with the unit appeared to be too slow, and the video footage had large artifacts and would freeze up a little bit. So I replaced it with a Samsung 128 gigabyte card. So this is definitely enough for 4K video. I believe it's like a U3, I believe. Anyway, yeah, so it's like one of the green or the orange cards. And so lastly, as I mentioned again, the minor user experience issue where the camera can be slightly cumbersome. So, and additionally, the incident detection feature isn't as quite accurate as advertised. Finally, I want to wrap up this video with my overall thoughts on the Hubanfly dash cam. I think this camera offers a fairly good value for the price. The overall image quality is pretty good. The front camera is really impressive. The rear camera is kind of average. However, if you're looking for a dash cam to read license plates, you're going to get disappointed, as with many other cameras. It's just, like I said before, it's just that most dash cams, the majority of dash cams, they have that issue with their sensor and with their processor. So you're never really going to be able to read license plates from vehicles farther away. So, you know, this isn't really an issue with this particular dash cams, because all dash cams have that issue. To give credit, reading license plates isn't the real reason to own a dash cam. The main purpose of owning a dash cam is to document what is happening. It's for insurance companies, and it's for police officers. So it's to record the physicality of what's going on. There's another video that I want to kind of mention. I'll leave it in the description below, with Linus comparing many dash cams last year, and I think it's a good resource for you after watching this video. Now, here is my recommendation. If you're comfortable upgrading the memory card yourself and potentially going through an exchange process, you know, they just sent a new unit to me. I didn't have to send my old one in. This could be different for you. But if you're okay potentially going through an exchange process, then this dash cam is a solid option to save you about $40. But if you prefer a hassle-free experience, this might not be the right choice. Personally, I found it to be worth a little bit of extra effort. So that's it for today's review of the Hubanfly dash cam. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button. Subscribe to our channel for more awesome video, drone content, travel videography, and here's a couple of other videos to watch. And feel free to leave any questions or comments down below. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next one.